Hello aerial friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a video that's a little bit different, but I had this idea when I was performing last weekend because I was doing my aerial moon act, which is an act I've been doing for a while, but I recently changed the whole middle section. So I was really having to like concentrate and focus on what I was doing. I mean, I always do that in the air, definitely, for sure. But I was extra focused last weekend doing the new section, and it made me think about what goes through our heads when we're performing as artists, how focused we have to be, how detail oriented we have to be. For me, the moon is probably my most precise act. There's a lot of little tiny details with hand placement, with body placement, that if I don't get exactly right, it causes massive problems in the act. And so it just made me think about all the stuff that has to be going through your head while you're trying to look beautiful and graceful and at ease, spinning up in the air, and not show the audience. And so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to do a commentary video where I'm going to show you guys my aerial moon act and then give you a running commentary of what is going on in my head while I'm doing it. This is going to be a video of my rehearsal. This is my last rehearsal before the gig last weekend. I'll also show you a little clip of the gig at the end. The video from the gig just was a little bit dark. It's not as clear as the rehearsal video, so we're going to watch the rehearsal video, but it shows the full act, and you can see everything. I think that's about it. So let's dive right in. Okay, I just want to mention that I don't know if in this video I'm going to leave the original music because I think I'm going to get copyright claimed on YouTube if I have the original music. But it does really specifically have movements that go with the music, so I'm not sure if you guys are hearing the original music or if you're hearing a copyright-free YouTube music paired with this. The other thing I want to say is this is the very first time I performed this version of the act, so I think it went quite well. But there's a new section that I'll show you in the middle that was like the first time that it's happened. So let's jump in. So I'm standing here, I'm getting ready. So the first precise thing I have to think about over here is the height of the moon. For this spin to work, I don't have a crazy arabesque. I'm not have the ability to like lift my leg up crazy super high behind me. So I do need to have the moon at a specific height that allows me to have my leg up behind me, but like not crazy. So that's always a challenge with this kind of gig where I just arrive on the day and I meet the person who's running the motor for me on the day, and we have to find that specific height and get them to be able to replicate it for the beginning of the act. The other thing with moon is my moon is so heavy because it's basically the weight of 2 and a bit more solid hoops. It's 2 hoops worth of metal. And if I spin too fast at the beginning, it will go crazy with the spins. I like a fast spin, but like sometimes it can be too much. So I do have to be really mindful of that. And first off, I'm starting with my swallow split. I love a swallow split. So the swallow split is the first place in this act that I have to be really intentional about where I put my hand, because there are certain gaps. If you can see, there's those spirals on the inside of the moon, and there's only certain gaps where I can put my hand. So I really do have to put my hand in the right gap, because once I place my hand, I can't change it. So a lot of the technique of the moon is remembering which gap in which spiral I'm placing my hand in. Yeah, because if it's the wrong one, it's done. It's not going to work right. All right, I'm coming into my crock. The crock, again, is another thing. I keep going back and forth about whether I want to put my crock inside or outside of that bottom center spiral. I'm now doing inside, and I feel like it works pretty well, but it just doesn't feel like my normal crock on the hoop, so I'm still debating that one. And then this move after the crock is just to flip me around to the other side of the moon. Because there's the gap in the side of the moon, it does really matter which side that gap is on for certain moves. So at this point in the choreography, I needed the gap to be on the other side for my next sequence. And so this was my attempt to find something graceful that switches me the other side of the moon. And then I do have to kind of throw that leg back to catch it, because it does have to go quite far back, but I always try to kind of speed through that part. I feel like if there's a part that you just can't make look graceful, the best choice is speed. I love this split here. So this is the new section. Here comes the new section. I'm debating, there are two flying Russian splits, one after the other in this section. I think I like it because like one's on the moon and one's on the span set, but I don't know. The jury's out on that still. I also want to say that the moon for me is, not only is it precise because I have to be so precise about my hand placements with the spirals in the center, but I also have to be really thoughtful about how the moon is going to move with the weight and how the moon is going to move because it is not evenly balanced. Obviously there's a big chunk of metal that is not on one side where that gap is. So I think that a lot of being an aerialist is predicting how objects will move in space, including your own body. And that's a skill that you build over time, and it's a really important one. And then I came down into this armpit hang, which hurt like and something about the way the moon is pressing against the back of my shoulders just really squishes my armpits. There's another one of those little details that's really important. I'm hanging from my armpits. My chest and shoulders are up here. I don't want to look down with my face. I don't want to do this. I need to put my foot on the bottom bar of the moon. I don't want to spend 10 seconds looking for the moon with my foot, and I don't want to look down with my face to see where to put my foot. So I'm really proud of my solution here, which is to hover my foot above where I think the bottom bar of the moon is, and then just sink the foot down and find the top of the moon with the top of my foot. I'm really proud of that little transition. But now I'm gonna stand up. I don't find that to be the prettiest transition, but I'm keeping my back arched, so at least I'm kind of arching my back and looking graceful in that way. And then I'm coming into my final sequence here. This is such an easy foot hang. It's really the most cheating foot hang in the world, but I am milking it in this final sequence. I think that's something really important. If you're doing this span set foot hang, which again is so simple and easy, and like you can drop into it. I drop into it in a lot of routines. But your other option, if you're not dropping into it, is to take it slow and like really like take your time and be like, oh, this is so hard and so dangerous. And that's why I'm doing it slowly. And the audience will really eat that up, you know, making it look precarious, even though it's super easy. Coming down in the music, there's an extra like 10 seconds of soft music. So I use that as kind of like a come down moment. It gives me a minute to come off the hoop. It looks graceful. It looks like part of the act. And it just fits in really well. So that's definitely a keeper in this act. That was pretty fun. I think that was kind of a fun little think it through. Let me know if this is something like that is similar to your thought process when you're performing, because I think it's really interesting to see how people focus, how some people I know calm their brains like a lot when they're on stage and are almost like meditative about it. But then some people are really like super in overdrive as well. I would say I'm probably more towards the meditative side, especially when it's an act that I've done lots and lots of times, or an apparatus that I'm very experienced on. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes I'm more hyperactive. What's performing like for you? Tell me in a comment. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you liked this one and you want to do more videos like this, then let me know. There are more tutorials coming out quite soon. I just haven't been in a studio where I could film easily recently, so I will be next week, and then I'll have some more tutorials coming out very soon. And I will see you guys then. And I don't know, take care of yourselves and see you soon.